Hey, weight loss warriors. I went to my nutrition class for my surgery, so just wanted to give you some details on that in a few minutes. Tuning in again to the Working Girl's Guide to Weight Loss Surgery. As I've shared on my previous videos, I am in the process of having revision surgery from the sleeve to gastric bypass due to issues with GERD, and I'm also going to have a large hernia repaired. So I went to my nutrition class a few days ago. My surgery is actually going to be August 20th. I said August 2nd on my last video. I was distracted. I had some construction folks that were lifting heavy equipment around my car when I did that last video, so I gave the wrong date. But the surgery itself is actually August 20th. I will start my pre-op diet on August 6th. And the class was, pretty interesting. I mean, I've had surgery before, so there are some things that have changed a little bit from when I had the surgery almost 6 years ago. The last time I only had to do a week of the pre-op diet. This time I have to do 2 weeks, which is going to be a challenge. So it was It was good to just kind of get a reminder of the different things that will take place this go around. Probably one of the most shocking things that took me by surprise was the fact that I will probably be going home with a drain. I think it's called a GP drain. And I've heard about it, but all the surgeries that I've had in the past, I haven't had to experience it. So they went out on YouTube. They recommended that you go out on YouTube so that you can see the type of care that you have to provide to the drain. It'll have to be drained twice a day. And I mean, I have a clinical background, so it's not like the stuff is foreign to me to being able to do that type of care. It's just not something that I've done before. So I wasn't expecting to hear that I was going to have to do that. So I was a little surprised by that. We had, I think, about 10 people in our class. There were at least 2 other people in the class that are having revision surgeries. One young lady had had a lap band before and had that removed. Another patient had the sleeve and she actually was sitting next to me and had shared her story of having gone through cancer and gained weight through the treatment there. So, God bless her, and she's doing well, and asked a lot of great, insightful questions. So it was really, really nice to be in the class with her and some others. When they found out that I had the sleeve, they had some questions, and even the questionnaire that we had to take beforehand, because when you have bariatric surgery, there's a society that will kind of follow you for 5 years to gain more insight on what your experience has been. And I've already participated in this program, but this pre-op questionnaire this time, they asked a lot of questions about heartburn and GERD and things of that nature, and that was not something that I was asked before. So, I mentioned it to the dietitian, and she said, yeah, being that, not everybody's going to have the issues with GERD with the sleeve, but they understand that is a concern now. So they do ask those questions on the front end to help try to guide patients as to whether they might want to have the bypass as opposed to the sleeve and end up like me and have to decide about whether to get the revision. For the actual information itself, I have the information right in front of me, so I might look down to reference it. I was really excited that they gave us a shopping list to focus on what we would need to have for the pre-op diet, and pretty much the focus was on the first 2 weeks of what we would need to focus on nutrition wise, because you would follow up within a week of having the surgery to get some additional information and make sure everything's going okay with the surgeon. So the shopping list, they advised us to have 3 to 4 protein shakes a day, milk, which I'm not going to drink. I don't do milk. Tomato or V8 juice, plain cereal such as oatmeal, cream of wheat, cream of rice, sugar-free pudding, sugar-free light yogurts with no fruit pieces, unsweetened applesauce, raw or steamed vegetables. One little quick hint that she gave was to buy the Hidden Valley powder packets and to take that and put that into the yogurt, and you can use that to dip your veggies in. So that was a good tip. Broth, chicken, beef, or vegetable. I didn't ask specifically about the bone broth, but I'm assuming that would be okay as well, particularly since it has protein. Sugar-free non-carbonated drinks, sugar-free jello, sugar-free popsicles, decaffeinated tea or coffee, no green tea, no creamer. Sugar-free substitutes such as Splenda, Equal, Sugar, Sweet and Low. Juice, apple juice, grape, cranberry, and that would be the day before. And then Gatorade, which is the day before as well, because that is strictly clear fluids, and the only thing you're really going to take in for calories would be the Gatorade. So they allow you to have that just strictly the day before. So that was pretty good. They also recommend the Mylicon drops or the Gas X pills. Mylicon drops, I actually have some of those in my house because my infant granddaughter will come over sometimes, and we had to use that for her. So I might have to get in her stash, save myself a little money and have that around, because I know when I had surgery before, the gas strips were tremendous. That was very helpful. I didn't feel like I had a lot of issues with gas that some people have with the pain in the shoulder and things like that. But whenever I had kind of some issues, I used the gas strip. So that's a tip for anybody that's looking for information. Let's see. They really stressed about oral care, which I found fascinating. You would think it would be something that they wouldn't have to tell people to make sure they're brushing their teeth twice a day after surgery, but that was a big focus, and being sure to drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. Getting up and walking, that's a huge one, and that helps with the gas, reducing the gas, as well as preventing the blood clots. No driving. Of course, a week before surgery, they told everybody that they pretty much can expect to be off 1 to 2 weeks if they had relatively light jobs. If they had jobs that they would need to do lifting, they could expect to be off longer. No lifting, I think they said, for 5 pounds the first week, nothing beyond 10 pounds for that first month. So little grandbaby's not going to get picked up. That's going to be hard for me to not pick her up. She's 8.5 months old, super cute. But that'll be an adjustment for me. They gave us an example of the clear liquid diet that we would need to follow for the first couple of days, and as well as some examples on the protein powders. And I'm actually going to do a separate video about protein powders, because I had a aha moment in there, and as I've shared before, I struggle with the protein powder. So I'm going to really look to you guys for some information on that and some recommendations, because that is something I'm going to have to rely on pretty heavily for a little bit, and I need your help. So they did give us some coupons and a couple of protein samples, so I'm going to try those over the next couple of weeks before I have to start the pre-op diet on August 6th. So I think that's pretty much about it. What else did they tell us about the let's see, they talked about the vitamins too, and there's a company called ProCare Bariatric Vitamins, and with the ProCare, they have it so that you would only have to take one multivitamin a day, and you wouldn't have to also take a separate vitamin D capsule or liquid, because they have enough within that tablet. So that was a nice tip. I've always taken Flintstone vitamins. In addition to the Flintstone vitamins, I always would take a separate calcium vitamin. For a while I was taking liquid calcium, but it got hard to find that without having to order it online. I also take a B complex liquid. So I'm just going to look a little more into the ProCare. I've done Bariatric Advantage too, and those pills are huge. And that's one thing that they were saying with the gastric bypass, you will have to open up the tablets and put the contents into food because the tablets themselves will be too large to digest. So just going to reevaluate that and see where I stand and start buying some of these pre-op foods that I need that I don't already have in stock. So I think that's about it for now. Look for another video soon about my aha moment regarding the protein. And thanks again for tuning in, and check us out on all of our channels, and talk to you soon.